even when you talk about creativity, there's a law called law of creativity. And when you put creativity with the work that you're doing, so many beautiful things start unfolding. So you actually helping people reach their fullest potential by giving them the keys and strategies that will help propel them to the next level. And so this is what is absolutely needed. And so even with Candace, she can speak a little bit more on this, but even with the whole furlough situation that's going on with the government, so we could see that God can still bless even in the midst of the situation, even what you mentioned about small businesses.
Yes.
How they fuel the economy.
Yes.
Small businesses are the backbone of the American economy.
Yes, it is.
Small businesses are the seedbed of entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And sometimes you can start a small business with under $100. But if you don't know what direction to go in, I tell people all the time, get you a mentor, a life coach, spiritual midwife that can actually help you reach your next best destiny. So I'm going to turn it over to Candace, and she can expound a little bit more on this as well.
Okay. All right.
Well, thank you, Tammy. I've just been enjoying this powerful conversation. And really, it's more than a conversation. It's actually instruction. It's actually, giving a supernatural instruction. And I always talk about this. Sometimes Tammy and I have these discussions on this. On the platform, it's called Millionaires in Training. And I shared with her, I said, people want money. They want millions of dollars. But if your mindset is not renewed in actually being able to maintain and steward the millions, then that means, as you said, Melanie, that somewhere there's bondage in the mind.
Yes.
And perspective, I used to hear, you've heard the expression, perspective is reality. And I don't believe that. I believe that, sometimes perspective, come on now, from where you're sitting, it could be, it's not that it's reality, it could be something's wrong with your sight.
Yes,
because of where you're sitting, you can't see.
Just because you have eyes, that does not mean you have vision.
Come on now. And I tell people there's a difference between vision and sight.
Yes.
We say we're going to the vision store. We're going to a vision, those chains called vision stores. No, you're not testing my vision. You're testing my sight.
Yes.
Okay? And so, from your perspective, woman of God, you have blessed me, and Tammy always does. I love her program. I'm feeling like I'm just a part of the audience every time I get an opportunity to come on this platform with her. You said something so key about how you're starting your day, how you have to speak over your life, and you have been able to get see, people think, I'm listening to I'm going to get to my question. I'm very excited.
Oh, take your time. I'm listening. I'm enjoying you as well.
People try to put us in a box. I'm going somewhere, right? People want to put us in a box. Oh, you already own a salon. You don't need to write a book. You don't need to be an author. You don't need to create a movement. You're already making money. You're doing well for yourself. But then who are you to put me in a box? We talk about multiple streams of income. I'm not limited. And there's a scripture, like Tammy said, about the law of creation. There's a scripture that says, give me witty invention. Come on now. If you serve the Creator, certainly and you were born in His image and created in His likeness and His image, certainly there's creation in you. There's yet to be... Right? So from that perspective, can you tell us how one can brand their businesses? I said it. I added an S on that thing. Let's talk about it. How can you, because you've done it, Melanie, and I'm gonna turn this mic over to you because I really want you to share with us. How can you brand yourself, right, from your perspective, with even having multiple streams and businesses?
I would say this. My perspective on how one can brand their business, it has to be through marketing. Mm-hmm. Your marketing must tell a story about your brand. We are our brand. I am my brand. And since we lived in the age of technology where it is not going anywhere, then you have to stay up to date with what's going on. And if you're not marketing digitally, then you're not promoting your brand at 100%. The social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn, and all the others helps to attract a different audience than if you just have a storefront with a sign or a billboard. Yep, you may have a storefront with a sign or you may have a billboard. People will drive by and see. But guess what? If you're on social media, you can attract a lot more, hundreds, even thousands of more people. That's how, and a lot of the small and startup businesses, they can't even afford storefronts in the beginning. Some of them cannot because they don't have that financial backing. So they start in the home, as I'm going to say, the home front instead of the storefront. You know, you need a certain amount of exposure to brand your business, and without having the marketing piece, your business cannot survive. Your business cannot thrive. You have to market your business, and you have to do it through the digital world. So that's how I would say, you know, how a person can brand their business. You have to do that. You have to stay current.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am. I totally agree. Tammy, I know I'm going to throw that mic to Tammy because Tammy has such great insight on this topic as well.
Melanie, one thing about you said about branding. We are our brand.
Yes.
And you are so right. It's about our image and what we project out there, even on social media, and how we market. Marketing is very, very key. Being a marketing strategist and how you're going to put your brand out there and how you're going to represent. But the keys are consistency as well as being flexible. Even in this fast-changing world of marketing, we have to remain relevant, stay relevant, and flexible. Yes. And we have to set standards for our brand. And even when you talk about having a well-defined type of executed brand technique, methods, or strategy, the keys are consistency. Because when you look at some of the most recognizable brands out there like Pepsi and Coca-Cola, they always stay relevant and consistent. But many businesses tend to put the cart before the horse, and we have to focus on our methods, our tactics, and our strategies. And that will help to allow our elevated pitch of our craft to be perfected, even when it deals with branding. So this is truly, truly great what you're sharing with the listening audience, and this is going to help give someone insight on how to be able to brand their business. Yes. And I also have to say, which is astonishing, is profoundly simple, but simply profound, a way of leaving a lasting impression in the hearts and minds of our target audience.
You're so right. You're so right.
There you go.
You know, Melanie. Thank you, Tammy. Melanie, this is Candace Michelle again. I just have to tell you, I really want everybody, when they get a moment, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I really want people to visit your site. Melanie,
yes,
MelanieDPhillips.com, and we're going to let you spell that out. But you have your Melanie's Pen section, Melanie's Pen. When I say there's some inspirational things and posts on here, a blessing in the lesson, a blessing in the lesson. Move past the agony of your past. You are such an inspiration. I mean, your books, everything you're doing, how you're impacting the community around you, and while you can still inspire, right? While you also bring increase to your household. You know, we're not limited. It's called kingdom, being a kingdom advocate, being a kingdom builder, and that's what you're doing. And I would like for you, if you could, tell us who inspires Melanie. Where do you get your inspiration from, and who are those people who've impacted your life?
I would say, first, personally, my parents, and certain friends. My parents believed in everything that I said that I would do and that I say that I'm going to do. They never give me any pushback. If I want to change careers or whatever, they would say, "Okay, Melanie, that's great," especially my mom. She would say, "Melanie, that's great. You can do it. I have faith in you. You can do it." So she's number one, and my dad as well. Now, although I'm no longer married, I was married for 25 years. My ex-husband, he was also someone that encouraged me whenever I wanted to make a career change, and I made career change often because of his job. We relocated a lot, so I always kind of made different career changes, and everything that I decided to do, he would support me as well. So I can't take, even though we're not married any longer, I cannot take anything away from him in regards to supporting me to the fullest. And then as far as my business now, which I should have said God first in my personal life as well, but I will say specifically in my personal life as well as in my business, because it was when I was going through my divorce when God told me to pick up my pen and paper and write. So he was the first inspiration for me. He poured into me, used me as a vessel, then I emptied out onto the paper, emptied out into the manuscript, and I started writing. And sometimes I didn't even know what I was writing until I finished because the words was just coming and I was just writing and writing and writing. So that's how I started the Mouth of Babes books. The Mouth of Babes books, I created those books. My very first book is my baby, because it was birthed out of me going through the pain and everything of the divorce. And when he told me to write, I started writing, and I was writing, and I'm like, God, after I finished writing and read, I'm like, God, now, if you're going to have me to write a book about divorce, you would think it would be about me going through the divorce, not about a child going through divorce because of their parents wanting to divorce. So, but God said it wasn't your time yet. So that's why I have to keep saying that God was the one that inspired me the most during that time. Also, I would say my mentor, my business coach, Yamina McIntosh. She is a rare jewel with a lot of wisdom beyond her years. God put her in my life, and it was no accident. She was a regular client that came into the salon to be serviced. And then one day, I asked her, I said, Yamina, what is your profession? And she said, I'm an MD, I'm a PhD, and I'm a PR person. She said, I'm a business coach, I'm an author, and I'm a psychologist. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, I tell you what, I'm working on a manuscript. I want you to take a look at it. Do you have time? And she said, yes, I do. So she took a look at it. She said, let's make an appointment for us to talk. And ever since then, she has been right there with me. So a great business coach, someone that can, and by her being a PhD and a psychologist as well, she just helped me along the way. She would ask me before our sessions, okay, how you doing, Melanie? I'm saying, I'm good. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you're doing in regards to your divorce. Are you okay? And she knew the right words to ask. So she was phenomenal. So I can't take anything away from my business coach and mentor, Yamina McIntosh. And then I would say connecting with people. I started to connect with people like Jessica Mosley. She's great. She's a great person to be around. She inspires me as well. We've actually, I was one of the co-authors in one of her books, the MizCEO book. And then I connect with Cheryl Pelote Williamson. And I remember telling Cheryl that, I said, Cheryl, you are my mentor. And I said, but you don't even know it. I said, this is my third, I think it was maybe my second or third time meeting her. But I was following her on Facebook, and then I've met her at a bunch of retreats. And I said, you're my mentor, and you don't even know it. I said, I listen to you speak, and I see how God is using you. I say, and that inspires me even that much more. So I love, people. You have to connect with a good group of people that can help you. I've